Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day.
What's up, motherfuckers? Wow, no. No. That was shit. We got Alan coming on with, and David X is going to join him, and that was no. I'm going to try this again. What is up, Direct Dating Summit? That is better. Man. Oh, man. I've been a comic for 13 years, and I've never not had something to say. I've actually been speechless a couple of times today. I'm exhausted. I feel like passing out, but I feel like I've just had a baby. Honestly, this has been amazing. Another one. I feel like I'm in a relationship. But this is beautiful. I've never seen so many happy people. So this is it. This is the last run. It's going to be Alan coming up here with some guests. So let's not waste any time. Let's make some noise for Mode 1 himself, Alan Roger Cole!
The girl who makes the song is actually from London. We're turning it back.
Everybody get up right now! Everybody get the fuck up!
Now, during the break, and I've said this multiple times, but sometimes I guess it comes to some people's ears, maybe it's a contradiction that I'm saying be bold, be straightforward, but some guys seem to think that Mode 1 is just literally specifically about just walking up to a woman and saying, I want to fuck you. I would only suggest you say I want to fuck you if that's literally all you're really thinking. What's the subtitle of my book? Mode 1, let the women know what you're really thinking. Not find out what they're thinking. I'm like David. He was going to come to the stage in a moment. He said he don't give a fuck about what they're thinking. Neither do I. I let them know what I'm thinking. I hear so many guys like, man, I need to say this and that because I want to tell them what they want to hear. How the fuck you know what a woman wants to hear? If a woman's sitting in a chair in a room with you and she's thinking, I want you to put your dick in my mouth, how you know she's not, I should say, how you know she's not thinking that? All you can let her know is what you're thinking. But, of course, you can't just, if a woman, I rarely do it unless, I want to know if a woman's single first. So some of my bolder approaches is when I already know kind of, either A, I already know what a woman's situation is, I know she's single, available, or B, I know from the vibe. Do most of you kind of, well, I guess half of you probably not based on your questions, but when you get to interact with so many women, you'll begin to feel vibes that you know if they're either single or you at least know when you're going to get the green light, the way they use their eyes, their proximity to your body. But anyway, the point I want to make is, yeah, I don't want ever people to limit Mode 1 to just simply meaning you just go up and say, I want to fuck you. You don't even have to say fuck you if that's not words you're comfortable with. Like I was telling somebody earlier. But the biggest thing with Mode 1, somebody has asked multiple times, well, isn't it if you're attracted to a woman, you could just, isn't that common knowledge? Isn't she going to assume? No. She might assume, But as I pointed out yesterday, no, you need to verbalize your interest. You need to let her know you're not talking to her because you want to be her next platonic friend or her next play brother and all that shit. You need to let her know that your interest either romantically, meaning long-term, monogamous, or for sex. However way you do that, you do that. Another thing with small talk, some people think when I say avoid small talk, that means have a real short conversation. You can have a lengthy conversation, but usually when I have a lengthy conversation with a woman, I'm talking about things that I genuinely care about, that I genuinely want to listen to and genuinely want to share my thoughts on. Fluff talk or small talk is when you're talking about shit that not only ain't relevant to your interests, but it ain't even shit you in your own mind don't even care about. Like guys that go up to women and talk about the weather or something like that, and they know good and well they don't give a fuck about the weather. But they think that's what the woman wants to talk about. That's fluff talk, small talk. So it doesn't mean that every conversation you have only a 2-minute conversation. But it means don't start off a conversation with, hey, guy, you got great shoes. Do you really give a fuck about her shoes? I mean, really. Somebody wrote that on the message board that you should always open a woman, compliment her on her handbag. I don't give a fuck about a woman's handbag. Now, that would be, using that as an example. Let's say I saw a woman with the same handbag that my grandmother had, and I love my grandmother. I'm going to talk about that because it's a genuine interest. I have a genuine connection. But I ain't going to talk about it just to be talking about it. So I want to make that clear with the, you don't necessarily have to open with, I want to fuck you. You could just say, hey, I'm attracted to you. We need to get together sometime. You know. Then if they ask you though, well, why should we get together? What are we going to do? Watch TV? You going to take me out? No, we ain't doing none of that shit. I'm going to fuck you. But yesterday, I saw a few faces that weren't here yesterday. What happened yesterday was just, to me, magical. It started with, Sasha had 2 women come up here, and David X was asking them different questions, and one woman said that she didn't want to be called sexy, and I rose my hand and said, that's some bullshit. And they were like, come on down here, and then we got to talking, and there was this great chemistry between Dave, I, and these 2 women, and I thought that was very classy of him for allowing me to join. So I'm returning the favor to Dave and invite a guy who, this is my first time meeting him in person, but I already consider him one of my closest friends. Give it up for David X. Yeah, David X, man, this guy. See, now I'm a guy who doesn't like to be ever full of shit. And I was just telling some guys, you know, we all buy into this social programming. But when I immediately connected with this guy, he was on my radio show, and I had already read his materials, and he had already gained credibility with me. But just within the first few minutes, man, this guy, he calls them as he sees them. He's not going to give you that pleasant bullshit. I mean, you had, how many guys have you had hang up on me because you just start lighting into their ass? People ask stupid questions or basically demonstrate themselves full of shit. He's like, wait a minute, stop that question. And he just starts identifying where they're being full of shit. And they can't handle that. But that's why I respect this man, because he keeps it real. His advice is about the only, other guy I respect in the industry, because a lot of these other guys are telling shit that I just don't agree with. Matter of fact, at least one guy that was here today.
You know, I have to tell you something. I have to interrupt. I was asked when I was having a cup of coffee, did you listen to this guy? And I go, no. They go, oh, you didn't listen to this guy either? I go, no. I said, I never listened to anybody. And I listened a little bit to Alan, but I know basically what he stands for, so I don't have to listen to what he's saying, because I not only don't have to listen to it, I feel what he's saying, and it's almost identical to the way I feel. But when they ask me about other guys, I have to tell you all the same thing that I've been asked hundreds of times. Who do you like in the business? only since I started to know that Alan existed, I say, if you don't choose me, I'd recommend Alan Roger Curry. But I tell them another thing too. Choose somebody, but stick with one person. If you try to dance at too many weddings, you don't make it. You can't choose 100 different guys in 100 different systems. I don't consider myself a system, and I don't consider Mode 1 a system. It's a way of life. Mm-hmm. It's a belief. It's not a religion, it's a belief. If you don't believe in it, find something you believe in and stick to that. And I know this not from trying to be a goody two-shoes. I know this from the students that I've been teaching. Right now I have about 160 graduates out of 180 students. The other ones are still ongoing. And out of the 160 students, my consensus is the guys that heard about 2-3 guys take longer to graduate than the guys that come to me green. You want so badly to get help, it's commendable. That's the first thing you're going to know about learning is knowing you need help. That's fine. But just like not knowing what the women are saying and you want to figure it out, choose somebody that you believe in and go with what they're saying if you really do want the help. Like I said, I don't care who you choose. You don't have to choose me. I only got so much time to take care of people. If you don't choose me and you want somebody really good, I'd say go with Alan. If you want to choose me but you like Alan better, go with Alan. But choose somebody that's going to help you. A lot of these guys only want to waste your time. They want to prey on your weaknesses. I want you to overcome your weaknesses. There's a big difference. Alan wants you to overcome your weaknesses. I don't know if it's a direct game. I don't call it that because I didn't know it's a game. For me, it's a way of life. What I say to all you guys here today, with all the kidding around and the feeling good, I believe what I can do, you all can do. I don't know if you can do what Alan can do because he's pretty suave. But I know what I can do. There's not a person in this room that can't do it. I'm not special. I thank you for appreciating me. I thank you for clapping. But you guys who need help, think to yourself what you're doing. Think what you need and the help you want. I got a question asked to me about religion. Basically, if you look at all religion, it's all the same ball game. You're not supposed to go out with more than one girl in most religions. So don't, if you believe in your religion stronger than you believe in anything else. But if you don't believe in things like that, like I believe the more women you sleep with, the happier you are. I believe you're more satisfied. And if you think you're going to hell, I'll see you there. I have a suite.
You know, it's funny. I'm gonna bring in my brother. How many of you read in the book where I mentioned my brother? Yeah, I got an older brother named Stephen. I want to highlight him. David said something that made me think about it. He said about him teaching you guys. And I want to publicly, I wish he was here so I can acknowledge him, but it's funny, probably my biggest insecurity related to Mode 1, I don't know if that's the right word, insecurity, but when I first started being Mode 1, I thought that was just something that worked for me. And my brother was the main one. He was like, man, I think you could teach other people to be Mode 1. It took him years to make me believe that. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my brother, because I was like, no, man, nobody cannot pull Mo 1 off the way I do. I just cannot see it. But no, it really affected me, and I've told Sasha this a number of times, a few other guys privately. There's a lot of stories I could highlight, but it was these two guys who were working for my brother. He was a manager in San Diego. One guy's name was Keith. This guy was a handsome guy, like a lot of you guys are, intelligent, charming. But it was so sad. He was starting to look at himself as a loser. Because he was, being a nice guy, and he wasn't, and he just, what did he do? Yeah, he was starting to look at himself as a loser. And then there was this other guy named Tony. Whoever thinks they're the shyest guy in this room, I would triple that, and that would be Tony. Totally shy, introverted guy. My brother said, man, you need to just put together a pamphlet of some of your principles. And I did. Without getting into a lengthy story, Keith, he was going out with one woman every 2 to 3 months. After reading the Mo 1 pamphlet, he started going out with 2 or 3 women a week. Then this guy, Tony, he had this woman he identified as his dream girl, beautiful blonde. I never saw her. My brother saw her. He said she was gorgeous. He was scared to just even walk up to her and say hello. But he read my pamphlet, asked my brother 250 questions, and then he finally got the balls to approach her. And of all things, if you knew this guy, he told her he wanted to take a shower with her. Now, for a guy like me, that would be old hat. But if you knew this guy, if I introduced you to him, at least at that time, it would have been unbelievable. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy was super duper shy. 11 months later, he married that woman. 11 months later, he was engaged and they're married to this day. And he told my brother, he said, man, see, I'm getting a little emotional right now. Sorry about that, unexpected, but he told my brother, he said, your brother can change people's lives with this stuff, man. And so that's been my mission with Mo 1 and Dave. That's been his mission. And other than us having the same philosophies, that's why I've connected with this guy, because I know the hucksters. I know the guys that just want the money. And me and him ain't rolling in no convertible Mercedes. This guy genuinely loves to help men transform their lives. And so do I. I was probably one of the few guys on the message board where guys were literally criticizing me for giving free advice. They're like, Alan, what you doing, man? Don't you know you can charge for consultations? But I would stay on there sometimes 10 hours a day because I wanted to see them transformations that I saw Keith and Tony do. And when I got at another guy, there's a few guys here. This guy came to me last night. He said, Alan, you've transformed my life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I need to earn a living. I like the money. But what's really gratifying is when I have a guy come up to me like that and say, dude, I was starting to think something was wrong with me. Like I was like an outcast. I had a guy tell me he wanted to just invite some women to a building and blow it up. He wanted to blow it up, literally. You know about Mode 4, when I say you get a Mode 4 zone, he wanted to blow it up, which I think, honestly, I'm going to say that's crazy for him to want to go there. But thank goodness he said literally the thing that prevented him from doing so. He wrote me this long email. He said a friend of his started telling him about my book. And he realized that he was responsible for his own weak behavior. He was always blaming the women, calling them bitches and whores and shit. And he said, damn, dude, I read your book that told me to be responsible for my behavior. And he just became more confident. He became more straightforward. He got out of Mode 3. And now, I want to say, based on his last couple of emails, this was a couple years ago, he's now, you know, a regular guy, being mode 1. But he had gotten to the mode 4 zone. But anyway, I just want to say, you know, I wouldn't be one to share the stage with a guy if I thought he was just about, you know, getting a paycheck. And me and him, we talk about it private all the time. We can identify the bullshitters in this industry, man.
I have no patience for the bullshitters, as you found.
This is what I admire about him. I've heard both from his mouth and people who've been around him at something. If he don't like somebody, like another, say, presenter, he either A, stay away from them, or he'll tell them to their face. He'll be like, you full of shit. Get away from me. And I respect that about him. But anyway, what we want to do right now, if you were here yesterday, yeah, we had a cool moment where we had the 2 young ladies, and Dave ended up getting that pussy all wet and had them licking their lips. He had that trans voice. He's like, yes, and then when you pick up the book and you open the book real softly. That woman was sitting here like. But we're going to bring up another young lady. We're going to talk about some things with her. And again, none of this is pre-rehearsed. We didn't give her any script, just like the women yesterday. It's just going to be real talk. Me, Dave, the young lady, and of course, questions. And
before we bring somebody up, I just had an idea, and we didn't plan this, and he doesn't even know my idea. I want to choose somebody from this group right here to come downstairs right over here. I don't know. Let's see. Raise your hands. Who wants to come down here and be embarrassed? Come on. Who do you like? Choose somebody. Who you choose?
Radu.
Stop right there for a second, okay? I'm going to ask you some questions. Bring the young lady down. Now I want you to watch her as she comes down. Concentrate on every part of her. Okay, come up here. Come up here. Turn around. Hi.
Hi.
I didn't meet you officially. I'm David.
Lisa.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
You're shaking. Why are you shaking? Am I making
Shaking
you
your
nervous?
hand.
Are you shaking my
Perhaps
hand?
I shouldn't be so
I'll give you
nasty.
something else to shake later, but we'll go deal with that. Okay. You're wiring you up. If you answer the wrong question, you get a zap, okay? I want you to look at this young lady. You think she's good looking?
Yep.
Okay. Pretend she doesn't hear you, okay? You're just talking to me right now. All these guys aren't listening. It's just me. What part of her you like the best?
To be honest, I think I really like the way she smiles.
You like the,
Yeah,
You're
I
looking
felt-
at her
actually-
smile first?
I noticed that when I was there and
Hold
she
on a
came
second.
in.
Just give me your hand for a second. Turn. Okay, what part of her did you like the best?
Okay, I've started.
She's a little flat, right? You like it bigger best?
First of all, I like that she's not fat, she's slim.
She's slim,
Yeah,
okay.
she's quite athletic, so I like that stuff.
Yeah. You raced with her? You played tennis with her? You know she's athletic?
No, but she kind of looks like her. So has a
She
figure.
looks like, okay, good,
Has a
that's good.
figure,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
What do you like about her?
Yeah, in general, the figure itself.
Figure?
Yeah.
Could you see yourself fucking her?
Yep. Actually, some
How would you start with her? What would you do first?
That's a good question.
No, it's a great question.
Yeah.
You didn't know I'm going to do this, did you?
I think I would probably, I don't know.
Okay.
I already
We're going to
imagined-
release you because already I would have finished fucking her by the time you start, okay? But you see, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. It's like you don't hear us, okay? I want to know what he's thinking about.
I already was thinking about fucking her when I was there.
Okay.
So I imagined
But
it.
you see, this is good because you weren't thinking about what she's thinking about.
No.
Now I'm asking you all these questions. You're thinking about what I'm asking you. You didn't once think about maybe she's getting upset with you.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't think about anything that she was thinking about.
Yeah.
And you were enjoying looking at her, right?
Yes.
You enjoyed thinking about her.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Did you like that?
Yeah, but I was disappointed though, man. I thought you was gonna be like, yeah, I just want that juicy ass. I just want to just.
Yeah, well, you know, he's still a little shy. He's young.
No, I'll tease you. He's okay.
But this is the point that I'm trying to make with you guys. I guarantee all of you guys were thinking exactly what he was thinking about while I was talking. Raise your hand how many guys were trying to think about what she was thinking about.
He said,
Who? You were the only one? You're still fucked up, okay? You see, this is the point I'm trying to make. Whether she likes it or not, this is reality. When you look at a woman, you should see what is desirable in the woman that you like. This is the way you start to end up in the rest of your life with somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, somebody you want to, if you decide to have children with. This is reality. You notice this little exercise I made must have woken each one of you guys up, that not one of you thought about what this young lady's thinking about, except for me. I'm an angel, okay? I'm not trying to teach you how to disrespect women. On the contrary, I respect women immensely. I think of them all as beautiful flowers, creatures that were presented to us on this planet for our mutual enjoyment. As direct as you want to be with her is irrelevant. It's what you want from the person. It's like going to a restaurant and choosing what you're going to eat. I put the guy on the spot and he answered fantastically. I want to thank you very much. Give him a round of applause. He's a good sport, and you should now start to think, all of you, what just happened. You stop thinking about what you're all afraid of, what she's going to think. She has to be flattered. She's a desirable woman. Are you not flattered?
I don't know why you mentioned my flat chest instead of my wonderful ass.
I like your ass. I said you have a little bit of a flat chest, but I like your ass.
Yeah, but why did you have to mention it?
Because that's what I saw.
Okay.
That's
So you're
what I
like,
see.
you're a boob man, you're like, oh,
No,
nah,
actually,
not enough boob.
I always believe that more than a mouthful is wasted. And what I could do to your nipples would surprise you. Like I said, you have to know what you want to do and what turns you on. Because this is the attraction part that's natural to each one of us. Everybody's attracted differently. There might be one or two guys in this room who aren't attracted to you. I doubt it, but do you doubt it too?
No,
No?
no,
You think somebody wasn't attracted to you?
sure. People like different things.
Exactly. Did you like that?
that was just funny.
I did this just to prove to you guys rule number one is possible, and you all did it. And you did it in a fucking second. You didn't have to think too hard. You didn't have to tell me to tell you before. Think about rule number one. You focused. When I said to you, what about her did you like? You focused. So then, now I know you can focus. So whoever calls me up, does I have trouble focusing? It's bullshit. You can do it. You've proven to yourselves right now, you can do it. Alan is much more direct in what he wants. But you see, to get to his stage, you have to believe in yourself. This guy is dedicated. You know, I have to tell you something. I'm a lot lazier than him when it comes to this, because it only comes what's in my mind. And I never know what's going to come out of my mind, because it's first time for me and first time for you. But I saw Alan work 2 nights in a row. He hadn't slept. He worked to make presentations, to do this stuff, to help you guys. I call that dedication. If you don't come away with some knowledge and appreciation of what this guy did for you, then just give me an email and I'll kick your asses.
I appreciate that.
No, you know what, you don't have to appreciate it.
Well,
I saw
actually, he was actually critical the first night because it was like 3 in the morning.
Go to
and he
sleep.
was asleep. He woke up, get ready to go to bed. He's like, Alan, what are you doing? I was on my laptop. Honestly.
2 computers.
And he was like,
He came here
go
today.
to sleep.
The first bit he was just working here he's working his ass off to help you guys. So if you have that, if you have people like Sasha, I mean, you might listen to his jokes, corny as they are. Okay. The guy worked his ass off to make this seminar for you guys. He hasn't slept at all. He's doing something. It can't just be for profit, because he doesn't even know if he's going to make a profit out of this. He's dedicated. You have people working for you who are dedicated. Dedicated to help you guys. If you want to kick somebody's ass, if you don't learn, go kick yourselves in the ass. Because you have to start to learn what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah, I want to follow that up with Sasha. Sasha has been just unbelievable. His commitment to this event, to make it happen, and he's not even a seasoned veteran at sponsoring this event. This guy has been on Skype with me like every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And since I've been in town, he's just been making sure that every detail, and again, as I complimented Dave, I can tell Sasha, he rarely is talked about money. Of course, he got to charge, you know, but he wants to see guys genuinely helped. And that's what I love about this event and the people that I'm involved with the event. Because honestly, and he's done the same thing. I've rejected a lot of invitations. I get invitations from guys to do these little whatever boot camp and conferences. And once I see who's in the lineup and see what they're about, I'm like, And some of them offered me, I was going to get paid like, 10, 15 grand to go to Vegas. I was like, it was the event and what they were going to be preaching, and it wasn't in line with what I talk about and what I believe in. And, but yeah, Sasha, he's been tireless. I think he's gotten like 10 hours of sleep in like the last 3 weeks. So give it up for Sasha, man.
I got to tell you something, okay? Yesterday I was told that some of you guys don't want to be filmed or photographed. And today I decided I'm going to do it anyway. No, you have to understand why. Because I have so many students, so many people think to themselves, I know you're dealing with guys like this, you know, guys who can't get women, real losers. And I tell them every seminar I do, every time I do it, they're young, good-looking, smart guys. I don't understand. Hopefully, the next seminar I'm going to do is going to have a singles party after the first night to get you guys to mingle with women right away, to start doing what you just saw as possible. I don't want to promote guys who are just going to be bad to women. You're going to eventually look for somebody to mate up with for the rest of your life. if you so desire. And you need the skills and the ability. And the women that you're going to mate up with will say to you, how come I didn't meet a guy like you so far? And you'll tell them, because of David X and Alan Roger Curry helped me. That's good enough for me. You guys, whatever you think is wrong with you, it's not. And if you feel better, I like what Alan did yesterday. Look at the next guy beside you and think it's wrong with him. Because you are the most important person in the relationship. And if you don't like yourself, no woman is going to like you. No woman is going to want to be with you. No woman is going to be proud of the man she's with if he's not proud of himself. You think that's true? How much did I pay you to say it?
What's your name again?
This is what it's all about. I didn't bring her up here to insult her. I brought her up here to prove a point. Alan, I wasn't even supposed to be here today. And as most of you guys know, when you come to talk to me, I'm available. Now just think, if I'm available, Alan's available, we're here to talk to you. We traveled a long way. You have to say, God, I need that help. They're wanting to help me. You have to learn. You have to help yourself. Because to me, if you guys don't come out as graduates, I work so hard on the guys that are difficult. I haven't found a guy. I spoke to a lot of you guys, maybe not everybody, but I spoke to a lot, and I don't find one difficult. I've got difficult guys, and I won't let up on them. And any guy that needs my help, I'm available for, and so is Alan. But ask yourself if you deserve it, because if you're not going to help yourself, I don't want to help you. Does that sound right to you? You know, the wonderful thing was I never, and I have to tell you this honestly, I never thought I would ever work with anybody doing this. You know, I was asked today, did you hear about this guy? Did you hear about that guy? I go, no. I've had a lot of students that turned into so-called gurus. But what I know about them and what problems they came to me with, I know they're all liars. And I can't do that. For me, the pride of my life is I can look at anybody in the face and tell them the truth, that I don't give a shit. I don't care what they're thinking. If they want to hear the truth from me, you're going to hear it. Yeah, I'm a radical guy. I'd have no patience for stupidity. I have so much patience for my students to help them. It's amazing. Sometimes amazes me. People who know me say, you're so amazing. But when you act stupid, I don't have a second patience. Why is that? Because I know you're acting stupid. So if you can act stupid, you can be smart. You have to be smart to be able to act. It's contradictory to what I'm seeing. You guys have the ability. And I proved it to you right now. If you didn't learn from that exercise, you might as well leave now and forget the whole thing. Should have left a day ago. Saved you time. All you have on this planet is time. Precious, precious time. I've seen guys die prematurely and never appreciate the beautiful time they have on this planet. People killed and killing themselves uselessly. You're only here for a short time. if you measure the time that man has been on this planet to the time the planets existed, the complete history of man is like one grain of sand against the Sahara Desert. We're separated from the dinosaurs by 65 million years. We don't know in a million years if we'll still be here. Whatever time you have, put to good use. Sasha asked me, what song do you like? And my favorite song is by Trooper again. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And if you don't appreciate how much time you have, don't waste my time. Don't waste Alan's time. Because I think it's the most precious commodity you have.
And what I'm going to do right now, I only got a few more slides. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to bounce things off you guys. We'll take more
I hope you didn't mind
questions.
that
Oh, no. That was good stuff, dude. You know what's up.
Mutual Admiration Society. We can't help it.
What type of man are you?
Sit down, you can relax.
I'm not a man.
You can sit on my lap if you feel better. We can talk about the first thing that pops up.
You said you're what?
I'm not a man.
I like
Mode 3 timid. Who can tell me what's a Mode 3 timid?
I hope I didn't insult you in any way.
It's a guy who likes women but won't approach them because he's scared.
Scared. Let me ask you, Lisa, have you ever been in a public venue and you could feel a guy wanting to approach you, but he just didn't?
Yep.
Did you just think, God, he's so wimpy? Or what were your thoughts?
I was like, oh,
She's
why
a
not?
ninja. Wait a second, before you say that. She's a ninja. She's a master in kickboxing. You should be scared of her, right?
Yeah.
I ain't scared of her. Fuck.
No, I thought it was a shame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mode 3 timid, that's when a guy is letting his fears of rejection, all the things I'm talking about, his fears of rejection, his fear of subjective criticism, just overwhelm him to the point where it just paralyzes him from taking action. I work with a lot of these guys as my clients, and yeah, that's the most challenging because it's not surface stuff. That's deeply embedded fears that they have. I talked to a guy a couple months ago. He was classic example, Mode 3 timid. He said, he didn't want to say he was like 32, 33 years old. He's never had a girlfriend. He said, other than a few casual 30, 60-second conversations, he just flew outside. He said, Alan, I'm scared to even just go up to a woman and say, hello, my name is so-and-so. And this guy I told you about, Tony, the one who's now married, he was that type of guy. He was a Mode 3 timid. He was dreadfully afraid of women. And that's what happens. You end up being a Mode 3 timid. Again, that rejection, false evidence appearing real. Mode 3 target. Who can tell me what a Mode 3 target is?
Take him out for dinner, gold diggers.
Are the man a gold digger or?
He's the gold digger.
Okay.
And that's it.
Go ahead.
He's like, he's similar to the timid where he's actually too scared to actually go and talk to her. Well, he's actually got a lot of money, so when he does actually find a lot of doors to talk to her, he'll just be like, hey, I got a massive car.
Come for a ride in my limousine, or
Yeah.
I'll take you out and spend loads of money on you.
That's exactly. Mode 3, what I call the Mode 3 target is the guy, he has more confidence than the Mode 3 timid in the sense he can go up to a woman, chat her up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but he will not once express a romantic or sexual interest. His whole conversation will be fluff talk, and more specifically, it will be impressive fluff talk, like, hey, I own a Mercedes, and I graduated from, Oxford, and I got a house on the beach and all that type of shit. And he becomes a magnet for gold diggers. That's about the only type. Have you had a guy just come up to you and just start trying to impress you, telling you what kind of car you own?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Why are you trying so hard? that's weird?
She's
Why don't you
easy.
just be
Could have been for
why don't you
less.
just be a normal person? Don't have to impress me.
So them telling you they owned an expensive car house, did any of that get your pussy wet?
No.
Lesson, guys. Shit don't get. You can own a Porsche 911 Cabriolet, whatever. What's that one? Something Bach. It's supposed to cost a whole bunch. What's it called?
Boxster.
No, there's something called Maybach. That's it. I heard that car costs like $1 million or something. Would that get your pussy wet?
Maybe
See?
my friend.
Even if you spend $1 million, it won't get.
Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
That's a good point. Seriously, if I could gather $1 million in a suitcase, cash, no questions asked, you don't have to pay any taxes on it, would you sleep with him for $1 million? Realistically, $1 million. You never have to see him again.
If I felt like being a prostitute, maybe.
No, I didn't ask you to
what I
feel
mean?
like being a
That's
prostitute.
what it would be.
I'm saying for $1 million, $1 million. Okay, you know what? $5 million you never have to work again in your life. Would you do it for one night? Just $5 real dollars.
$5 real dollars.
$5 million real dollars.
Nearly got me there.
$5 million.
Protected.
Protected.
Maybe. Yeah.
You see, we've established what you are. We're only haggling over price.
Yeah. If you're going to be a prostitute.
That was
$5 million.
good.
I do know girls that get turned on by being offered coke and shit like that, and they are like that, and that's.
You know what we
that's
call
it.
those girls? Coke whores.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's not a You know
Gold
what?
digging coke also. You can get them.
You can go into a bar, get a little bag of Coke and shake it in the air, and you can go home with somebody. You don't even have to talk to them. Okay, so that exists. You know, somebody asked me today if I've been with a prostitute, and I say no. Not that I'm above it or I think it's bad. I said no because when I'm that horny, I'd rather take a piece of liver and put a picture on it. I know it's safer. Have sex with a woman who wants to have sex with you has got to be the most beautiful thing in the world. To make love, to create something together, whether it's an orgasm or just closeness or tenderness. I was talking to somebody in the hall there before, and he says he's really looking for a woman, for a girlfriend, somebody he can hold, he can be with. That's a wonderful thing. Not everything is fucking. It all depends what you want. That's why I want you to focus on what you want. What you want doesn't have to be what I want or what Alan wants, or even what this, what's your name again?
Lisa.
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 Lisa. What Lisa wants. It's what you guys want. And find the person who wants it with you. That's what you got to look for. Don't try to impress your friends. They might say, oh, I don't want that. And then you go, well, me too, I really don't want that. No. You got to only impress yourself. You can't look at what your buddies want, or your mates, or whatever you want to call them, or the friends that lied to you. That's better off what you should call them. Search your soul. Find what you want. What you want can change from year to year, from generation. A generation is 20 years, they say. So from when you were 20 years old to when you're 40 years old, I guarantee you're going to change what you want. You might change 3 times, 2 times. Maybe you don't change. I find that doubtful, but you have to go after what you want and go after it properly. If you want to fuck a girl one night and you tell her that, I think she's better off knowing you want to fuck her. I think what women are very afraid of is security. They don't know what kind of idiot is coming after them. They have to be smart. They have to try to figure out what you want. And as much as every guy thinks every woman is a liar, every woman thinks every guy is a liar. So you're starting with X's on your slate. Try to change it. So you can't get them to change it. You have to initiate the change. What do you think the three most important things in any relationship are? The foundation of a relationship. You guys have heard me ask this to every woman. Do you know what they are? If you answer wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong. And when you finish answering, I'll tell you if you're right or not. And I bet you'll agree with me.
3 things.
3 things.
I can think of more than 3, but trust, connection.
That's one. No.
No? No?
Trust is one.
Sex?
No. You thought because it's me, right?
Wait, what kind of relationship you mean? Like,
Any relationship between you and a lover, you and a boyfriend, you and a girlfriend, you and
well,
Alan,
I
you
suppose
and
when
me.
I say connection, I mean like wanting the same thing as well. No?
The foundation. To build a good building, you need a solid foundation. The foundation for any relationship, whether it's between you and your parents, you and a teacher, you and a mate.
Communication?
Wrong.
Shopping? Sorry, I'm at a loss. I'm
Okay,
going crazy.
I'll tell you what they are. And like I said, you're the judge, okay?
Okay.
Honesty, trust, and respect. Think I'm right?
Yeah. So honesty and trust are kind of the same thing, but yeah, I suppose.
Honesty and trust aren't the same thing.
Let me interrupt. Who can tell me what a Mode 2 pleasant postponer is? Radu.
It's a guy
who has an interest in a girl and basically he speaks with her but never lets her know what is actually his real interest, and he pretends this.
No. Actually, you're describing what he just. That's more of a Mode 3 target.
No, what I mean is that the guy, he's kind of honest with the girl, and he behaves in a socially appropriate way, but he reveals his real interest later on in the relationship.
There you go.
Not right in the beginning.
Yeah, the Mode 3 pleasant postponer, on the positive end, he is honest. He expresses his desires, interests, and intentions to a woman, but on the negative end, it's usually at the very end of the conversation after he's engaged in 20, 30, 45 minutes, an hour longer of small talk. So that's the guy approach a woman for, say, the first 45 minutes. He's talking about that bullshit like the weather, the trees, the state of humanity, and all that shit. And then at the end, he'll, in a very beat around the bush manner, oh, by the way, I do think you're attractive, and I don't know, maybe sometimes we should get together. These are the guys who actually typically tend to get put in the friend zone or get labeled the nice guy. The problem with that, like I said, possibly, and they are ultimately honest, but the problem with waiting that long, let's say some guy was to talk to Lisa for an hour and had this entertaining conversation, had her cracking up laughing, only to find out that at the end that you were either seriously in love with your boyfriend or you were engaged. Does that happen? Guy talked to you, say you've been in a relationship and the guy talked you up. What's the longest you talked to a guy only to at the end of the conversation tell him basically you weren't interested or you weren't in a relationship?
A long time, yeah.
Give me an estimate. Over an hour, over 2 hours?
Yeah, maybe over an hour, yeah.
Over an hour? See,
But I got in trouble in America. They said, don't talk to them for more than 15 minutes or they'll think they're in. Because I'm Australian, so I have a different...
Well, see, you're right, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Most guys, that's the mistake these guys make. Guys who are Mode 2 postponers, they think the longer they talk to a woman, the more they're in there. the more they earn brownie points. I've heard guys saying on message boards, they're like, Alan, I disagree with this Mo 1 stuff, because you're talking about these 5-minute conversations, and I'm telling you, man, if you can get a woman to talk to you for an hour, hour and a half, you are in there. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Matter of fact, does anybody know how speed dating came across? First of all, do you know what speed dating is? For those who don't, there's this concept, I forget what year it really became popular, but they have these events where you go there and you sit at a table, and like I would sit across from the table, and they only give you normally, usually in the area like 5 minutes, no more than 15 minutes. But when I saw that becoming popular, I wondered why it was becoming so popular, and I was doing some research. The reason why speed dating came about was because some people did some studies and surveys, research basically, and they found that the average man, the average woman, of course there's exceptions, but the average man, average woman knows within the first 3 to 8 minutes of a conversation if they're going to potentially date that person or have sex with that person. The first 3 to 8 minutes. So that means for most, and again, there's exceptions, but I always tell guys, if you talking to a woman for more than roughly 15 minutes and you haven't expressed your interest or you haven't got a feeling that you're just going in overkill. It's just overkill. Women themselves have told me that. I've had a number of female friends, acquaintances, etc. tell me, they say, Alan, I usually know within the first 5 to 10 minutes if I'm asleep with a guy. The only indecisive part is the when. They might not be certain at that point when they're going to sleep with you, but the if part, they know usually, again, on average, most women I talk to, they know at the 10-minute mark, latest, whether or not they're going to sleep with you. And so that's the weakness in mode 2, is too much talking. Dave?
I want to ask you a question. This is very important, and a serious question. You've gone out with guys. You've dated guys. After how many dates, if you go out with a guy, do you sleep with them?
It depends.
On what?
Sometimes I'll sleep with them without a date.
Okay, but if you're dating him,
If I'm dating them,
you're going to get a
If
lot
I'm
of
dating
invitations in a minute.
if I'm dating them, I don't know how to plan.
Would you go out with him more than 3 times without sleeping with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many girlfriends do you know that go out with guys and they never sleep with them, just string them along?
Not many. I don't know if I know anyone.
A few, though.
I know a girl that's very into trying not to sleep with someone for ages to test him out.
To test them out.
What's your definition for that, Dave?
Pussy whipped.
No, not that. Dave on my show, one of his most memorable lines when I interviewed him on one of the podcasts, he was talking about when a woman interacts with a guy, she knows that guy wants to fuck her, but she doesn't fuck him. He was like, now that's a bitch. He was like, I know I don't like to call a woman a bitch, but that's my definition of a bitch. And I agree with that. When a woman it's just like I was talking about earlier about women that just use that carrot on the stick.
Can I just say, this girl's been done over by men, and so she doesn't trust men.
I'd love to hear her excuse. Now I want to ask you another question. If I told you that if I go out with a woman, I don't sleep with her on the 3rd date, I don't talk to her anymore, do you think I'm a terrible person because of that?
No.
Do you think
If you want sex and that's what you want, then go for that.
No, what else do you want?
What else do you want?
What else do you want?
Some people might want a relationship.
That's not
relationship
sex?
without sex?
You can't have
Hold on a second.
rules.
All the guys here who want a relationship without sex, raise your hand. Wait a minute.
Tell you, I'll beat your ass. See, this is what I got to pick on your gender.
That I want to have a relationship with, and I slept with him on the 4th date.
Now, Liz, you might not be like this, but I am going to criticize your gender. I was just saying this earlier. Women kill me with this thing where they look at sex versus a relationship as if they're diametrically opposed. For men, that's still fucking. You just want long-term monogamous fucking, but it's still fucking. There's never a point where a man doesn't want sex. But I've had women say, well, I don't like that guy because all he wants is sex. When does a man not want to fuck? Really?
It's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, let me
But
ask you
the way you expressed it, it came out like you said, well, if he wants sex.
This girl doesn't want to just be used for sex.
Okay,
so
I'm not
she's
talking
real
about this
careful.
girl.
So in other words, she doesn't want casual
I
sex.
have had lots of casual sex, and I'm a bit sick of it because it just says to the men that that I can just be for sex and not for anything else. And I've had to learn to be different.
But I'm saying to you like this.
To be more honest with them, I don't want to just have sex.
But 3 dates is casual sex?
No, I'm not saying it's. This is what I'm saying. I don't have a rule, so it might be less, it might be more.
Okay, so you go with your intuition, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. But let's say, okay, you meet a really nice guy. His name is David X.
I like that.
And you really like him. But he tells you during the first date that if he doesn't sleep with you by the third date, he doesn't pursue the relationship. And you really like the guy. Would you think about having sex with him before the third date?
Yeah, I would, but I wonder
Okay,
why he has that rule.
Hold on, you just had a rule too.
If he wants to have a relationship.
Wait, no, you see, let's say this now. You go out with a guy the first date. When do you let him touch your breasts? The first date or the second date?
Depends on the person. Maybe the first date, maybe the second date. Although I'm learning not to because that's
You know what
that's
I call
what they
that?
think you're for.
You know what? I've had a student, he goes out on 3 dates, and all he played was titty whistle and stink finger, I call it.
Sounds charming.
And he didn't fuck her. So I said, give yourself a set of rules. How many dates you're going to go out with her till you have intercourse? So he says, 5 dates. So I told him I go by 3. But I give a girl 3 strikes also. So let's say, and I'll tell you what happened. He went out with her 5 dates. He said to me, I'm going to see her again. I'm going to give her another chance. And a month and a half later, he says to me, he never had sex with her yet. Now, do you think the girl ever thought once that she knew he wanted to have sex with her? They got a little intimate. They played titty whistle and stink finger.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You say you're no longer into casual sex.
No.
You gonna wait till marriage?
No.
For sex? You
No,
gonna have sex
if I get
before
desperate
marriage?
enough, I will go for someone I don't like very much.
You go what?
Okay. Which one of these guys don't you like?
Here's what I was gonna say. Unless you're gonna decide to wait till marriage, women don't like to hear this, but as far as I'm concerned, boyfriend-girlfriend relationships is just a variation of
Casual sex.
I mean, seriously, if you're not making a man wait until he's your husband, come on, man, I'm gonna ask you. I'm not gonna just impose my opinion. Do you get excited about these terms, boyfriend, girlfriend? Anybody? I try to explain this to women. Of course, they either get hurt, insulted, but see, that was created so women, as we talked about yesterday, women have all these anti-slut type tendencies where they don't want to look like, as you call it, that kind of girl. So they magically came up with these terms, boyfriend, girlfriend. He's my boyfriend. Because I can't look like a slut if he's my boyfriend and he's fucking me. But I'm sorry, I don't want to be too negative on those terms, but for years, man, I've always thought boyfriend, girlfriend is bullshit. Because at least for the woman who claims she's all about commitment, because that ain't no real commitment. I can fuck a woman from now until Wednesday until I'm a boyfriend. The fuck does that mean? I mean, really? Do I sign some paper saying that I'm a boyfriend? It's just bullshit, man. That's my thoughts anyway. Mode 4. I was telling you about this guy. I had this guy, the one I was talking about. He wanted to invite, he knew all a good number of the women who had rejected him, who he felt disrespected him, and he was going to rent out this venue and send them invitations like they were coming to a party. And he said he was going to light gas bombs and blow up the place. Now, I told him, of course, seek some help if he's got it that deep. But again, the one thing that was flattering to me, he said the thing that literally got him off that track of thinking like that was actually my book. But there's a lot of guys who go there, man. That's when your dark side is revealed. Ted Bundy, who familiar with Ted Bundy? Anybody from the States know about the guy who went in Pittsburgh and shot up them people in that health club? Anybody hear about that? There was a guy, he was working out. It was all about dating relationships. He felt he was improving his body. I saw the guy, he wasn't no real ugly guy. He wasn't exceptionally handsome, but he wasn't no unattractive guy. But he felt like women weren't giving him the attention he wanted. He felt like he was getting unfairly rejected. And out of his frustration, he blogged about it before he did it and went in and shot a bunch of people in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania health club. That happens when you allow yourself to get here. That's why I don't like to be mode 2 or mode 3. Because a lot of times in the short run, you'll think it's working out for you. Women will act sweet towards you and call you, compliment you and stuff. But in the long run, when things don't work out your way, you always end up feeling just bitter and resentful. And the number one time you're definitely going to stay there is when you don't accept responsibility for your own, for lack of a better word, weak behavior. Because men who get manipulated by women all the time, that's not the women's fault. I mean, they're worthy of criticism for manipulating you, but ultimately, it's because you didn't have the backbone to resist that manipulation. You don't want to take her out to dinner 10 times and spend 100 pounds per dinner. Nobody had a gun to your head forcing you to do that. And then when you didn't get the pussy or you didn't end up in a relationship with her, you become bitter and you become a misogynistic revenge seeker. If you do research on a lot of serial killers, guys who not only are serial killers, but specifically they just focus on killing women, it's usually because, like Ted Bundy, going back to him. Did you know when everybody asked like family and neighbors and that type of thing to describe it, they all said, I didn't think he was capable of that because he was such a, finish the statement, nice guy. Man, if I didn't hear that once about him, I heard that 20 times. Everybody was like, God, Ted, he was such a nice guy. He was bitter, then his bitterness caused him to become crazy. Now, before I move on, let me ask you, have you ever, or a girlfriend of yours, had an experience where he rejected a guy, and I don't know, he maybe stalked you or wrote you a nasty letter or called you a bitch in your face? Like, where's the guy who said he would call a woman a bitch? Did he leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your thoughts when he said, hey, you fucking bitch, why you reject me, you bitch? He was just like, God, he's...
Well, you might feel a bit compassionate and go, well, sorry, I didn't want what you wanted. And that's an unfortunate reaction, isn't it? And maybe you'd be a bit like scared and get out of my face.
Were you ever scared for your own security when that happened?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
You see, you have to understand, you might not agree with what we're doing here, but I am, and so is Alan, very concerned with these guys don't flip out and hurt any woman. No, I don't.
No,
Okay,
I think we basically think the same thing.
well,
Females get rejected, they get upset
Right.
too, they start to hate men. It doesn't need to be that way.
Let me ask
Sometimes
you a
it
question.
does match up that people want what each other wants.
Do you think Alan would hurt a woman?
No.
You think I would hurt a woman? Wrong! No. You know what? It's the
Don't know
attitude.
you hell of a well. But...
It's the attitude
Yeah.
you project. People ask me, how many women did you tell you love? I only told one woman in my whole life. I never told a woman I'd love her to sleep with her.
Good.
But I love women. All women. I love the idea of a woman, the feel of a woman, and I love the fact that when I'm with a woman, I can make her feel how I feel about her. That's what's important. And before I get with a woman, I try to make them feel safe and secure with me. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I think she bought that.
Now move on to mode 1, which is the ultimate goal, the self-assured straight shooter. And again, you only reach that point when you overcome that fear of rejection. And I tell every guy in here that I've spoken with, it doesn't happen overnight. Oh, you got a question?
Yeah. This question was asked earlier regarding whether you're mode 1 at the beginning of the interaction or mode 2, does that set the frame for the rest of the relationship? Do you agree with that? That if you're mode 2, that sets the frame for your 3-month, 6-month, whatever, or lifetime relationship with a woman?
Well, I'm going to answer that question along with a question that somebody asked me earlier. Somebody said, how would I apply the 4 modes of behavior to a relationship? Now, I don't try to get too deep in a relationship because I feel like in order to have the credibility as a relationship book author, you either have to be married or have some kind of degree in relationship. But I think a lot of my principles apply. What I tell men as far as relates to relationship, I always hear this term that the number one thing that makes a relationship work is when you're willing to compromise. I think compromise, I'm not going to say it's totally a bad thing, but I think it's to a degree overrated. I keep telling you my love for chicken wings. I love chicken wings. I can't tell you guys how much I love chicken wings. I mean, I really love chicken wings. No, but here's my thing, using food as a basis for a relationship. If I meet Lisa and we have a certain degree of chemistry, but she says, Alan, I love lasagna. And so I think every other Friday we should eat lasagna and the other Fridays we eat chicken wings. If I go for that, that's a compromise. As long as things are going well, there's nothing wrong with that. But guess what happens when things go sour? You know, we get into start getting into arguments. She cheats on me. I was going to say I cheat on her, but I'll never cheat on her. I believe in cheat. But you know what I'm going to start with? Let's say basically the relationship's on the verge of dissolving. I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be like, man, all them fucking Fridays I didn't eat none chicken wings? That's some bullshit. Damn, how did I allow myself to do that? Fuck. That's what happens. I've seen it happen. When guys compromise, again, as long as things going well, they're fine. But that almost leads guys back to mode 4 when things go sour. The best relationship I recommend, it's just me, is I want to hook up with a woman that likes chicken wings just as much as I do.
Doesn't exist.
Or, that's probably why I ain't married. You might be right. Or, she likes lasagna and I eat chicken wings, but she doesn't try to limit how much I eat chicken wings. Basically, every Friday I'm eating chicken wings and she eating lasagna. That worked for me. I'm not compromising in. You know, I think you should match up with people who have as much similar interests as you in what I call tolerable differences. Shared interest, tolerable differences. When you try to date people that you know they have an attribute that you can't tolerate over a long period of time, some guys force themselves to do that, and I've seen it do nothing but be disaster in the end. And who was the guy who was telling me that he was willing to acquiesce to his current girlfriend? Well, I don't want to put him on the spot.
He's gone back to his girlfriend.
Did he?
Just now? Yeah, he was running late.
Oh, man.
He's not going to appreciate me saying that.
Well, you put it up. But he admitted it himself. In case you don't know what we're talking about, during the break, he came up and said he's having a problem because he wants to be mode 1. He was the one who asked me, how do you apply in relationships? Because he said initially he was mode 1, but his girlfriend started testing him. I was talking about how women test you. She started testing him, and he admitted that he's been giving in to the test. He's been basically wimping out and letting her have her way. And now she's basically on the verge of controlling the relationship. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if Lisa thinks this is a chauvinistic statement, sexist statement. I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a long-lasting relationship that had true romantic and erotic passion when a woman was in control of the relationship. They never seen that shit. Women say in magazines, well, why do men always have to be in control? I think a relationship can work. Show me. I want somebody to this day to make a liar out of me. Because me personally, when a woman, if it lasts, it ain't a real relationship. The guy got to beg for sex. There ain't no true passion. She probably fucking an alpha male on the side, which is usually the case. She probably stick with him because he got some money or something, or because he's her bitch. I tell you, any guy in this room, you better off, I know we all love female companionship, but you better off being by yourself, at least temporarily or indefinitely, than allow yourself to become a woman who's just her bitch. Just her beta male, obedient good boy. That relationship, don't think you earning any brownie points by that shit. It never, ever, I've never seen any relationship last again with true romantic passion when the woman is the dominant figure in the relationship. Women say, well, why can't it be 50-50? Fuck that too. Closest you get to that is 51-49. But
I want to add something at this point. See, Alan's saying it just a little different than I say it, and I make it easy. 3 positions you can be with a woman. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Now, I was talking to somebody during the break, and I was telling him, I believe in our DNA programming, how long we've been on this planet. Same as the animal kingdom. And it's always been proven in every religion, the woman is subservient to the man. Woman wants to trust her man, wants to feel secure with him, wants to feel safe with him. That's your job. If you can't give them security and safety and have them feel good that somebody is going to be able to handle the relationship and take care of them, they really can't let themselves go to you. They can't open up and be yours. And I believe that a woman wants to be a man's if he can be responsible enough to take the helm. Whenever you watch, whenever you hear captain of a ship, the ship is female. If you watch Star Trek, he takes care of her. The Enterprise was female. It's the way we think. It's the way the writers write. It's not that I want it to be like that, or she doesn't want it to be like that. A woman wants to feel secure and safe. Am I right about that?
They want someone who knows
Trust.
what they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, and somebody to know what they're doing. Alan's telling you, you're not going to have a woman fully trust you or want to be with you if she doesn't feel safe and secure with you. It's a responsibility. You don't take it lightly. You're being responsible for another person's life. You have to be responsible. They don't want to have to think maybe this guy's going to crack and he's going to kill me. There's just to make it through your lifetime without getting killed is a job in itself. When you want to be responsible for another human being, she wants to know that the man she's going to make children with is going to be able to handle that responsibility. It's so important. You talk about sex, you talk about everything else, but your responsibility is to yourself. Alan's saying if you don't know what the hell you want and you can't convey to another person what you want. Go mode 6, who the hell cares? I don't know what, I know you're not going to be mode 1. Okay, and there's not a woman in the world who wants a wishy-washy guy.
Yeah, and that's why I talked about the criticisms. Women are giving you harsh criticisms, why you can't ever act like that's affecting you. Because that's one of women's tests. If they see that you can crumble easily just on harsh subjective criticisms, that tells women a lot. That tells them that, ooh, why would I feel secure with him? He can't even handle just harsh words. So if life is harsh and adversity is harsh, why would I want to be with that guy if just because I called him a jerk or asshole, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not an asshole, please don't call me that. Number one, bold, confident truth is always better than a pleasant lie. Remember that. Dave was talking about what he wouldn't do to get a woman in bed. And that's what I was talking about when I said I reject certain invitations to do certain camps, because if I see guys in the lineup, and there's some out here, not all of them, but a lot of these pickup guys, they basically have that ends justifies the means. I'll tell you this right now, and I know a lot of guys don't share this attitude of philosophy. I don't even want the pussy. If I gotta lie to a woman to get the pussy, I don't even want it. I would never tell a woman, like he said he would never tell a woman he loved her just to get the ass. I would never do that shit. I'll never tell a woman, give a woman an impression I want to be in a long-term monogamous relationship when I know I want a one-night stand or a weekend fling. I don't even like to get women drunk to get some pussy. A lot of guys, that's their whole MO, getting a woman drunk. I don't mind a woman being inebriated if it's our second, third, fourth time or more fucking, but that first time, I always want a woman sober. Because I never want any woman the next day to be able to say, well, the only reason I fucked out is because I was drunk and I wasn't controlling myself. Fuck that. You fuck me because I got your pussy wet. That's what I want. But I don't, some guys argue with me on the message board. They were like, there's no ethics when it comes to seduction. Alan, what are you talking about, man? You just get the pussy any way you can. If that's how you feel, I want to confidently assume that there's very few, if any, guys here that feel that way. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been attracted to the theme of the direct approach. Because that's mainly the difference between, at least I feel that way, between the direct approach versus what's known as the indirect or whatever. That direct means when you want the pussy, you just straight up saying you want the pussy. I don't make no apologies for being a sexual human being. And I tell any man who follows me, never make that. That's what was fucking me up in life. Excuse all my F's, but I get in the zone. I just start dropping F this, F that. But that had me in that whole wanting to be a nice guy and all that stuff was because I was almost ashamed that I was sexual. I thought that meant something was wrong with me. But I say don't ever apologize to anybody. There's some women I just want one night of good sex. There's some women I just want them to give me a blowjob. But the thing where I'm ethical about it is I don't try to trick a woman. I'm not going to, if I know a woman's not into a one-night stand, but I want to have a one-night stand, I'm not going to say, well, shoot, let me give her the misleading impression that I want this long-term relationship, but then once I fuck her one time, I'm going to just dump her. That's what a lot of my friends in college used to do, a lot of my frat brothers. I won't do that shit. And that's why I wasn't feeling something Yad said about asking women to fuck them only to say, I don't know, I'm not going to disparage him. If that's his thought, I would never do that, though. That's kind of game plan.
Sorry, this question for all three of you all, because good job. I asked you the question just before. Mm-hmm. How would you deal with the criticism? I mean, Lisa actually hit it on the head when she said, I don't want to sleep with guys because they only after me for sex now, for the moment. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But I also mentioned to Dave's, I think yesterday, during the break, that I always thought sex was a sort of primal drive, that everyone would have it. It's like, going to eat.
Everybody does
going to the toilet.
Yeah.
But at least, then some girls say, no, guys only want me for this.
Well, see, here's the thing I think all guys know.
I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, okay, let me repeat it.
Take
just
the
said,
marbles out of your mouth for a second. Just say it again.
right.
Get the what?
I just mentioned, I asked him a question before, that how would you deal with women's criticism? That this mode one or whatever, direct, going up to women, women always think this guy's only here for sex. And actually Lisa hit it on the head just a few minutes ago, and she said, look, I don't want to have sex with guys because they're only trying to use me.
Just stand up, please. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay, now ask the question slowly.
Let's start again, third time.
Well,
it was.
If he doesn't mind, Dave, I know what he's asking.
I know what he's asking.
Okay,
I'm
you
doing
just
this-
want to. You want to.
I'm doing this for a reason.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So I'll say it slowly.
I'm stupid. Tell me very slowly.
Okay, very slowly. Right. I asked a question to Rod Allen before that, how would you deal with women's criticism when they say, look, all this direct stuff and mode one is that men just come up and approach us only for sex, right? And just a few minutes ago, Lisa said,
Who is she
look,
saying this to?
no, that was, I asked the question to.
Yeah, but I want to be clear. You're asking what, is this woman saying this to you or she's
No, it's just a general question.
Who asked this general question?
I'm asking.
You're asking. So what are you asking? You're asking what the woman is thinking about. Is that what you're asking? I just want to be clear. No. I want to be. I heard the question even the first time.
But she actually.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. I heard the question the first time. Who is asking this question?
No, I'm asking.
You're asking the question. You have a cunt? No, you don't? Okay, so you're asking a question you think a woman would be asking or thinking about. Is that what you're telling me?
She said it.
No. I'm asking you. You're asking the question what a woman is thinking about.
Yes.
Well, in case you didn't hear, I'll just, I might not have been clear about rule number 1. Sit the fuck down. I'm sorry. I can't take the bullshit. You revert right back to the same bullshit. I tell you, I have a short fuse for guys who refuse to think. What does it take for you to do? I heard the question the first time you asked it, but I couldn't believe after all we've done here today, you had a fucking nerve to ask me or Alan the same stupid fucking question, you asshole pussy.
That's David.
Wait a minute. Did you understand? I hope I made myself clear. My wife sometimes says, I don't make myself clear to people.
Hey, love him or hate him, he's been on my talk radio show 3 times, and man, he's left guys shaking on the phone. They write me, man, what's wrong with David? Did they like slap his mom or something? But I'm understanding. I try to be, I don't
Hold on a second. Stand up. What's rule number 1?
Rule number 1 is don't think for the woman. The woman,
Who
you don't
cares
care
what
what she
they think,
thinks. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Stand up. What's rule number 1? Stand up.
Don't give a shit about what women are thinking.
It's good enough. Stand up.
Rule number 1 is about who cares what they think.
Okay, hold on.
What's
rule number 1?
Don't care what people think.
Not don't care. I said, who cares?
Here's
Stand up. Just saying, stand up a second. Again, what's rule number 1?
Who cares what women think?
What's rule number 1?
Don't give a shit what women think.
What's rule number 1?
Who cares what women think?
What's rule number 1?
Who cares what women think?
There, you answered your question about 10 times already. Sit down.
Here's the thing, dude. Here's how I feel, and I feel just like, because somebody did this yesterday. They was about to ask.
You think you got the answer this
the
time?
two women up here, like, almost essentially like, well, do you think more women will work on you? You know who Kobe Bryant is? The basketball player? You don't know who he is? Most of the guys in here know who he is. Can you imagine if you were an NBA player and you went up to Kobe Bryant and said, hey man, how do I stop you from scoring 30 points and having 10 rebounds and 5 assists? You think he's going to tell you? You think he's going to say, damn, that's a good question. Here's what you do. Like, I got a weak left hand, so you play me to the left, and then I got this tendency when I get into the middle of the lane, I always try to go between my legs, so if you catch me right at that point, you can steal the ball. Women are not going to tell you, give you any, most women, unless they're in a relationship, of course, then they'll tell you what turns them on or whatever. But the average woman's not going to tell you what gets their pussy wet. I was listening to Lisa. She was talking about she's not going to do casual sex anymore. And I'm going to say I respect her for saying that. But the more one in me says, quite frankly, that's some bullshit. No, seriously. If I was to get her pussy wet, or any man who she was attracted to was get her pussy wet, she's going to fuck him. She might try to exercise that self-discipline. And some women are good at it, better than others, of saying, you know, I'm going to commit myself to waiting to marriage. Those women, though, they don't go in the kitchen, so to speak. They don't even put themselves in a position to be tempted. The women who are truly committed to resisting getting their pussy wet, they won't allow themselves to be alone with you. They won't allow themselves to tongue kiss you, nothing. Because they know. Because I'm telling you, once you get a woman's pussy wet, she's fucking. She is fucking. I can't tell you how many women I fucked who an hour before I fucked them said, I do not indulge in casual sex. I never had a one-night stand. That's at 8 o'clock. I never had a one-night stand. 9:30, oh shit, oh damn. Once you get that pussy wet, because it's not, I said this a million times, sexual arousal is not an intellectual decision. I don't think to bring God into it, God would never leave it up to that. That wouldn't guarantee the reproduction of the race. If you just left it up to pure intellect, like, that's like you saying, damn, I think I'm just not going to eat for a month and a half. Damn it, I've gained weight, I'm just not going to eat. That's why most diets fail, because people think they can intellectually make these decisions. Sexual arousal, that's a natural, raw, core instinct. Again, the closest you can come to resisting fucking is not to even put yourself in a position. That's why most churches, most really religious churches that, promote celibacy, their main rules, I've been, honestly, part of a couple. They don't even want the men and women in the church to do any physical nothing. I mean, like...
No dancing.
Yeah, no dancing, no nothing, because they know once the pussy gets wet and the dick gets hard, you fucking. So I said that to say all the women, number one, most women who say that they never have indulged in casual sex, and some of them are telling the truth, and that they never will, that's because the right guy ain't got their pussy wet. And the second thing, you can't ask women, I'm not going to go as far as make a blanket statement saying you should never take advice from a woman. But again, going back to the Kobe Bryant analogy, most women, if you say, well, I think Alan makes some good points. Do you think more women, 90% of women are going to say, no, that wouldn't work on me. If he came to me in a grocery store and said, hey, I want to fuck you, I'd be like, you asshole. And I'd slap him. And them same women who saying that shit, when I would do it, I would end up fucking them. So I don't, and that's why Dave stopped the guy yesterday. He was going to ask them two women basically like, would this work on you? Of course the woman's going to say no. It's like you say, hey, if I was to slide my finger in your pussy real slow, would that turn you on? No, that would be gross. I would think that would be awful. Yeah, right.
Maybe if you tasted it after.
So, bold, confident truth, that's one of my main things. I'm not willing to tell a woman a pleasant lie to get her in bed. If I can't get her in bed with that, I don't want her in bed with that. And that's just my personal principles. If you read my book, I say that I don't need to lie to no woman. What I got to lie to a woman for? That's why I said I don't believe in cheating. And I'm not saying that to sound self-righteous or whatever, but I'm never going to allow a woman to make me intimidated enough to make me feel like I got to sneak behind her back and lie to her. It's not so much I feel like that's just, say, religiously immoral. To me, it's almost cowardly. Most women, when I've had multiple partners, I told them straight up. I'm like, I'm fucking you and I'm fucking her. And they either with the program or they not. If they not with the program, I don't force them to stay with me. I let them go. I think a guy shouldn't enter into a relationship until he knows for 100% fact he's ready to stick with that one. If you're not ready to stick with that one, then you should stick to non-monogamous sex. Guys say, well, monogamy is not natural. Well, going back to my food analogy, shoot, eating healthy food ain't natural. I love hot fudge sundaes with pecans on it. I mean, there's a lot of food I love, but when I want my physique to look tight like some of you guys in here, I'm a little chunky. But when I'm in the zone where I'm really getting myself fit, there's certain shit I got to not eat. That takes self-discipline. That's the same with monogamy. It's not that you don't want to fuck other women, but you saying to yourself, my goal is to maintain this relationship, so I'm going to exercise self-discipline and resist the temptation to fuck these other women. So I'm not down with cheating and all that shit. I criticize. Some of my friends don't like me because I criticize them for cheating. Go ahead.
I was just wondering if you tell the other women that you're sleeping much about the other girls you're dating.
Oh, well, no, I don't give specifics. Now, if they know and they ask me, one thing about me, if you ask me something, I'm not going to lie. So I'm like, say, if I'm fucking Tanya, I'm not just going to voluntarily say, hey, you know who else I'm fucking? Janet, Williams down the street. But if Tanya comes to me and says, I've been hearing that you fucking Janet Williams. Alan, are you fucking Janet Williams? I'm going to step right up in the face and say, you goddamn right I am. Then they usually be like, oh, okay. Well, Dan, can you fuck me more? Well, she's not prettier than me. I'm telling you, guys, some guys I've told this to this week and might not believe this. I've got my most pussy when women knew I was fucking a bunch of different women. Women act like when they on Oprah and shit, they'll act like, oh, that turns me up. Womanizers, that's such a turn on. That's bullshit. Well, think about it. How could a womanizer be a womanizer if he was turning off women? That don't even make sense, do it? A guy is labeled a womanizer because he's fucking a lot of women, but yet women are saying that's a turn off. How can he be turning women off if he's fucking a bunch of different women?
I want to interrupt right now. I believe, and let me ask something. You've seen James Bond movies. You like them? You like James Bond?
Yeah, they're cheesy but good.
What's that?
They're quite cheesy, but they're fun.
Wait.
Now,
James Bond is cheesy?
Well, no,
you're dismissed.
That's an opinion. But what I'm saying to you is, most of you guys are here in the UK, Britain, where James Bond originated. Somebody asked me who my hero was growing up. The first time I saw a James Bond movie, I thought, geez, like every other guy, I'd like to be like him. He's a fantastic guy. Every woman knows he's fucking all the women, and they love him. There was just recently a show on TV, and they interviewed all the women who were Bond's women. And even the ones who were like these real staunch, what do you call them?
Feminists?
Feminists. They said they enjoyed being James Bond's women. And they enjoyed being looked at like that. Coming back, I believe it's natural. I don't think women in their DNA are programmed to be monogamous, to be honest with you. It's like in the Muslim religion, you're allowed to have 4 wives. The average lion pride is 4 females. Could be coincidence. Works like that with a lot of the animal species. And in case you all might forget, you're all a bunch of animals. That's what you are. We're saying the same thing over and over again. I proved to you at the beginning when I came down here that you can do this without thinking about what women are thinking about. And after all this time, you revert back to being a prick. You definitely go get one of those things around your neck, because you need to remember those rules really badly. I understand you want to ask a question. If you want to hear your own voice, get a tape machine and talk to yourself for a while. And then play it back. It's not fun. You know what? I find that you're wasting my intelligence, and you're wasting everybody's intelligence in the room when you're denying what you should be thinking about. You're proven time and time again. It's like you're going to university, and next year you're going to be in a grade lower. And eventually you'll be back at kindergarten. Because you don't want to learn anything, you want to go back. You're here for 2 days. We're talking, we're getting tired, and you're just not letting it enter your mind. Is it a comprehension problem? You know, I'm not a proponent of violence, but bang your head in the wall for a while. Try something else.
You know,
I'm not easy on guys, as you know. I have, and as the guys that have had coaching from me know, I'm the most compassionate. I want you to learn. But I can't stand stupidity. It's a waste of my time, and I'm sure it's a waste of your time. You better be home and be a bisexual. Jerk off with both hands. What else can you do?
Here's what I would say, too, to add on to that. You remember at the beginning, I said, how many of you would call yourself nice guys and all these hands raised up? And I said, how's that working out for you? And, of course, a lot of you guys laugh. You laugh because you know it's not. And along the same lines as what David's saying, it's funny to me, guys will question me and say, Alan, you know, this Mo Want stuff, it sounds powerful, but I'm just got to be frank. I just cannot see myself doing it. I see myself getting slapped and cursed out. And a lot of guys, I say, okay, let's say what you believe or assuming is true. Why am I talking to you in the first place? If what you're already doing was working, why the fuck would you be talking to me in the first place? If that whole nice guy routine was working, why would you ever read any book that suggests otherwise? That's what kept bringing me back. Because I confess, I had my own moments with my own stuff. I was telling some of the guys earlier. When I first started being Mo One, I'd be Mo One, say, for, 6 months. Then I meet a woman who was really class, who I thought was elegant and classy. That's when I would have my relapses. Any woman who I thought was, high on the quality scale, I would say, no, with this woman, I need to revert back to Mo 2. Only
She's
to
not the
end
type
up.
of girl.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I would think. I would say, oh, she's not the type of girl. Shit. This is when you get out of that mode of thinking, is when those women who you think that, I talk about this in my book, if you read it, I give this example, the guy who's at the party, and I've had this happen to me at least once or twice, and I've definitely seen that with my buddies. Perfect example, I give you an example, it won't be me, a buddy of mine. He met this woman, she was a Sunday school teacher. Now when you hear Sunday school teacher, you automatically think prim, proper, prudish, right? So he comes over, I had this buddy named Jason. There's me, Jason, and this guy. I call him Brian. He comes over. He says, yeah, man, I'm dating this good girl, blah, 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 blah. And then he pulls out a picture. My boy Jason, I could tell by his face, I was like, oh, shit, Jason done fucked her. And he's like, so Jason started messing with her. He's like, so she's a good girl. And he's like, yeah, see, you guys are womanizers. You guys disrespect women and stuff. But this woman's a good girl. She only does, she's not the type that will sleep, with just any guy. He starts going on and on. And then, skipping on miscellaneous details, Jason has Brian bring the girl over. And Brian ain't stupid. As soon as she walks in and sees Jason, you know how you can just read, you can tell when two people fuck. It was that type of deal. And Brian, I had to be the one to her. He pulls me, he says, tell me it ain't so. I said, dude, can you feel you was being set up? Dude, Jason used to fuck the shit out of her, man. And it like crashed his world. Now he got over it. But that night, he just could not believe that this pristine good girl was the type of girl that would have fucked Jason the first night she met him. But what did I say when I was talking about her and other women? Dude, it's just the reality of life. This is nothing that I'm saying to be disrespectful against women. But again, as Dave said, man, that's we all got to realize, man, this sexual urge, man, this ain't about status in society and respect versus disrespect. It is what it is. There's that saying in society. It is what it is. You know, when a woman's pussy get wet, she wants to fuck. When our dick get hard, we want to fuck. When our stomachs start growling, we want to eat and every other thing I can think about. And at the core, as Dave also said, I tell guys, we have a raw core animal instinct. We just got layers. Even domesticated animals, they got a couple layers of social programming. But you put them in the wild, they're going to get fucked up. They're going to come back to you like, no, put me back in the house. Because the wild animals out there ain't got no social program. Like he said, did you use that example yesterday? He's like, a lion ain't going to before he eats you like, hey, wait, do you have kids? You got a wife? No, let's not eat him. Let's not chew him. Okay.
No, he's got a hard head. Don't eat him.
But I only got about 5 minutes. I'm going to start wrapping up. See, I'm glad this was the next slide. Never apologize for wanting sex from a woman. Never, ever, ever apologize. That's like apologizing to somebody for wanting to be hungry. Seriously, there's a reason why we have a penis and they have a vagina. Now, yes, within the context of religion, there are rules. Because I think, honestly, I'm not trying to think for God, so I'm not going to be that presumptuous, but I'm going to just throw my opinion out there. I think God knew that some people have certain tolerances for jealousy, and I think that's why most religions promote monogamous, because some guys and women definitely can't handle multiple partners because there's too much jealousy issues. You know, there's some people, the people who can handle not getting jealous, I always say to the guys, there's some pussy you want to share and there's some pussy you don't. The pussy you don't mind sharing, that you wouldn't get jealous knowing that somebody else in this room is fucking, those are the women you have what I would call a casual sexual relationship with. But if you meet a woman, say you meet Liza, and it would tear you apart to know that another guy was fucking her, then you would want to get her into a monogamous relationship. To me, it's that simple.
I just saying, I have a question I want to ask. Have you ever been turned on by another woman?
Yeah.
Have you ever had sex with another woman?
I've gone down another woman.
Ooh. I'll see you later.
I think I was very good at it.
All right.
Hi, yeah. To continue actually from this topic, something that you said earlier that struck me. You said that you viewed being a boyfriend and a girlfriend as just nothing, not different from a casual sex.
It's not really.
So can marriage be to some people?
I personally think, and I'm interested to get your opinion on it as well, that being in such a relationship, you get to know the other person better, you can have mutual growth, and you also get some, I don't know, companionship, stuff like that.
Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that at all. You can have great monogamous relationships. That wasn't a criticism against monogamous relationships.
Oh, it's not about being criticism, it's about like, why do you think it's the same?
Well, what I'm saying is this. Number one, when I hear women say, you know, like say for example, they get bent out of shape when the guy cheated. Why? He was your boyfriend, he wasn't your husband. When a guy is your husband, there's something written both legally and spiritually that you're not supposed to be committing adultery.
I thought you didn't like cheating.
I didn't say I do. When did I contradict myself?
Because you're saying women get upset. Of course they get upset.
You still haven't pointed out a contradiction of mine.
They're getting bent out of shape. And you're not married.
I'm saying, what I'm essentially saying is you cannot compare a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship to a husband and wife relationship. Husband and wife relationship, that is something solid and legal. Boyfriend, girlfriend, that's just a title we give each other.
My sister and her boyfriend have a child, and they basically are married, but not by document.
But that's a title you give to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, me and you could date and fuck for 2 weeks, and we could call each other boyfriend, girlfriend, but in the big picture, that don't mean shit. That's what I'm saying.
Could do, yeah.
It's not that much distinguished from casual sex.
Well,
it depends what both people think it is.
But that's not, again, monogamous relationships. Again, here's my, if you, as I use the example, if you say, using her as example, if you didn't want to see her fucking anybody else, know that she's fucking anybody else, and she felt the same way, you guys should be in a monogamous relationship.
it's not about being in a monogamous relationship. I mean, I think polyamorous, as you said earlier, is kind of the same thing. My question is, like, when I engage in casual sex,
okay,
I'm only after the sex. I mean,
okay,
I'm not interested in her opinion on things.
Okay.
What her interests don't interest me, etc.
Okay, I'm not understanding the question now.
I guess the view is that when I choose to be with another girl long-term wise, or multiple girls, I mean, not only because of for the sex, but because of the character.
Stop, stand up and talk into the mic.
Right. Is that better?
I'm just having a hard time seeing what's your main point, your main question.
Right. The main question is that there's a different, like a person. She said earlier that she's
Are you saying there's a difference between monogamous and non-monogamous relationships?
No, sorry. Let me rephrase. Earlier she said she's not after anymore for the time being.
Yeah, casual sex. Yeah.
Casual sex.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that, in my opinion, that you get different things out of casual sex and a long-term relationship. And you said it's the same thing.
No, you misquote me. I never said a monogamous relationship is the same thing as a non-monogamous relationship. What I said was that boyfriend and girlfriend, the titles, to me, and this is just my own opinion, is bullshit. I never suggested, though, that a monogamous relationship is not fulfilling and satisfying, but what I'm essentially saying, and maybe I didn't express it right, I'm saying that some guys could fuck a woman for 4 to 6 weeks and call themselves that girl's boyfriend, and a woman could think that because she's fucking that guy under the title of girlfriend, that means she's not into casual sex, she's not promiscuous. But if she had 20 boyfriends in the last 2 years, what's the fucking difference? What's the fucking difference between Linda saying I fucked 20 guys in the last 2 years, and this woman says, oh, Linda, you're a hoe. I had 20 boyfriends in the last 2 years.
Okay.
There ain't no fucking difference to me. Okay. They both fucked 20 guys in the last 2 years. That's what my point was.
It's not what you call it, it's what it is.
Huh?
It's not what you call it, it's what it is.
Okay.
It's not the name you give.
Hold on a second.
Okay, I got to wrap. He's saying, I think I get, this is my last slide. Okay. Mode one, baby. Make it happen. Mode one! I want to quickly say, before I let Dave, I want to quickly say, I hope everybody filled out that quiz. That was not for me to collect. That's actually for you to assess yourself. On the back, here's some of my contact information. As Sasha said, he's probably going to mention when he comes up here. Some guys have been asking me about private coaching sessions, personal consultations. You would talk to him. I do have some time available before I leave town and work that out. And now Sasha, come up here. Oh, Dave, while he's coming, you can say what your last...
Yeah, I've got, the same thing goes for me. Yeah. Come on up.
Again, give Sasha a hand.
All right, I'm going to use my very last bit of energy here. So can I get this stage for myself for 2 minutes, guys, and I'll bring you up just to do a big thing in a sec. So I've just got 5 things. Was this fucking awesome or what? All right. So I just got 5 things to talk about really quickly. Number 1, I've got a copy of Mode 1 here that will be signed by the author for one lucky person. So does anyone want this copy of Mode 1? No. Does anyone really want this copy of Mode 1? See, that was Mode 1.3, because you came up and you were like, I think I should just take it, but you thought about it. Mode 1 would be like, motherfucker, that's my book. That would be beautiful. Number 2, I'm going to do a cheeky plug here. I've been doing comedy my whole life. The last 2.5 years I've been teaching boot camps. My specialty is just taking guys out in the daytime and destroying their fears. I was the biggest pussy I've ever met. Yeah, go on. Oh, you got a couple more?
Bonus.
Yeah?
One issue copy of Mode 1.
Uh-huh.
Upfront and straightforward.
Wait a sec. Ah! He gets one. Oh, shit. Oh, that was beautiful. Pandemonium. Right, let me get through this, and then we're going to get everyone up to thank them. So, just like these motherfuckers here, I love what I do. I love taking guys who have all these fucked up beliefs like, I can't just talk to women, or I can't tell women they're hot, or guys worried about what people think. So I love doing that shit. I like taking guys and making them fucking love rejection, making them have fun with it, just destroying all that bullshit. I love doing it, and it's great. So if you're in London, I wanted to just, me and my friend, I know, just relax. One of the guys that does this shit as well, and we just, Marcus over there, we specialize in just showing you that this is fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be fucking, serious. Mode 1, no jokes. You know what, man? I have fun. When I talk to girls, I have fun. I talk to them. It's just, I love doing it. It's awesome. I love women. I love talking to women. So if anyone here wants to crush their fears, I'm doing a special shit with Marcus. We combine forces sometimes, and we do programs together. And we destroy all your fucking anxiety. We guarantee it. We fucking kill it. And it's got an extra element of conversation, because that's what he's good at. So if you're interested in one of those, we've got forms out, so just fill it out when you want to do it. Bad boys always laughing. Yeah, just let us know. That'd be awesome. We're doing one December 4th, 5th, and then in January. So let us know.
We're focusing on just getting over the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It's just about getting over the fear of rejection. We're not trying to, you're going to go home with a supermodel or anything like this.
It's just getting rid of AA. That's it. Destroying the fear of rejection. That's what we focus on. That's what we're going to specialize on, and we're going to nail it.
And we guarantee it. So that's what we do, and it's a lot of fun. And this is the big part. I want to talk about this event. So yeah, man, I've done some stupid shit in my life, and bad with money, and I've made some really bad investments. Somebody that we all know owes me a lot of money. I bought an ex-stripper a car for $35,000 when I was like 19. Didn't even get a hand job, nothing. So I made some dumb investments. I did not make a profit on this event, but I want to say this is the best investment I've ever made in my life. So yeah, the website's there. So check it out. Tell your friends about it. This has been great. And basically, I think we're going to take this event to the United States. So we're going to do it again, which is awesome. So tell people, you guys will find out first about anything we're doing on the website, directdatingsummit.com. We're going to put interviews and all kinds of exclusive shit from all our speakers. So it's going to be, we wanted to make it like the hub of Direct. We want all the shit to be there, all the best guys. Bad Boy, Dave, Alan, it's going to be wicked. So yeah, tell your friends. We want this to spread. We're going to make a DVD, so you guys will know about that first. And yeah, if you liked it and it changed your life, and I think it will, I think a lot of the stuff it sinks in like in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, you're going to just, you're going to be like, and it's going to happen. So please give us a testimonial. I'll be running around with a camera, hang out. If you really thought it was awesome, please take 2 minutes and just tell us. And again, we'll get your name and we'll be giving out DVDs to people who do that. And yeah, that's it, man. I'm literally, I feel like I just want to pass out. I'm fucked. They were trying to take a picture of me for FHM magazine. It's going to be featured in FHM, which is pretty cool. And they were here, and they're like, all right, just do one picture and be happy. I'm just like, all right. So in my mind, I was going, and then, so I did the pen, and they took the pen, and I looked at the picture, and it was me. So I was like, I can't even, I'm done. I'm just going to do nothing. But this was amazing. I almost cried when Alan almost cried. So yeah, he changed my life, and all these guys changed my life. So I just want to get all the speakers up here just to give them a big thanks. Can we get everybody up here? Very good. So, one time for Bad Boy, Baxter, Marcus, Alan, Dave, and I'm Sasha. Thank you, I love you. One last thing. On three. 1, 2, 3. That's it, I'm out.